Good morning. David?
Yeah, Mike, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Can you start with the status of Bland and Micah Parsons going on?
Michael will not work today. He'll be in the rehab group. Deron will be in the rehab group today with a goal of working tomorrow.
Can you talk a little more about Parsons, just where he is in his progress coming back, and obviously just what you've missed defensively without him in there, the impact it's been.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously he's an impact player, but where he is in the rehab, I mean, he's making gains, each week. He's been here every day, and he's just not ready to get into the practice format. So, but yeah, definitely missed.
Clarence Hill, Lost City, Dallas. Bland he's I guess activated off your IR today.
Correct. Yeah.
Did it take longer for him to come back? I know there was talk about him coming back a couple of weeks ago. Did he have a setback or?
I think that's why I know personally I always avoid timelines because I'm not in those specific meetings, and and every injury is different, every individual's different. So yeah, I mean we're not going to put him out there until he's ready to go, and when we're being smart about it, which you need to be if there's for what he's experiencing right now, and if he wants to share that with you, that's his business. But yeah, I mean he's getting close, but we want to make sure he's ready to go when it's time to cut him loose.
Mike, Todd Archer at ESPN. We talked a lot about takeaways and the lack of them and things. When you get to a place like this, can players chase turnovers and make even bigger mistakes by trying to go after the turnover?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's part of the game. It's no different than big plays. I mean, if you look at the numbers, based off of our criteria for big play, there's on an average 36 big plays in a football game. So and that number holds up pretty true week in and week out, and it's something that we track during the course of the game because it's a great focal point, in-game reminder that to remind the players don't chase them. They're there. They're going to be there, and most important part about big plays is if you just do what you're supposed to do, you're either helping someone else put themselves in position to make a big play, or you're going to have that opportunity yourself. So. Yeah, so and the reason why I'm bringing it up is the takeaway is a big play. I mean, so it's in the same category, same realm, same focus. We just got to keep working it and making sure we got to just get as many trips to the plate, and whether we're trying to take the ball away, as far as interceptions and the breaks, the visual points, the pre-snap information, anticipation, all those things. And that's why you practice. That's why you continue to play and. We have to stay after it. So,
John Machota with The Athletic. When you look back on Dalvin Cook's work, what did you think of it, and how does that impact the running back room?
I thought he did a nice job. Didn't get a lot of opportunities, but it's a challenge to get multiple guys repped. I mean, run back committee is definitely not the preference, but we feel it's the best way to utilize these guys and. We didn't have enough trips to the plate just as a whole. I think if you look at the run completion, combination, we hit 75% of our plays, which is the goal to be north of that. But what do we have? 54 plays. So I mean that's not enough. So we got to get some more opportunities.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. You talked a lot about Steele. When he came off the ACI, it took a while to get comfortable. Is Diggs in a similar situation as Steele coming off his injury?
That's fair. I mean, I think any player that comes off a major joint injury, I mean, there's a full year of going through everything, again for the first time. So, it's remarkable what science has done, and if you watch the way these men rehab and the way they come back, stronger than ever. But the reality of it is, when you have knee injuries, and from personal experience, it's not your knee's not the same. So, and you have to accommodate for that.
Last week, did you think that was maybe his? Because he had said on a podcast that last week he thought he set the edge. He played a little bit more. He played better physically. Did you see that on tape?
I thought it was one of his better play. I thought it was one of his better games this year. I agree with that.
Nick Harris for Star Telegram. Through Cooper Beebe's first 7 games, how have you seen him grow here in this rookie season?
Well, I mean, he's been challenged really from the get-go. We talk about it in here all the time. Just the line movement and what he's seeing. I think that's a product of him being a rookie playing in there. But I would say the growth, and it's always the one your starting line is always a little bit different, is in communication. Just the awareness, making the declarations and all the things that come with that. Handling all the different cadences. He's done a really nice job on the road, which we're getting ready to go play at Dome Stadium, so that's another big challenge this week. I think the other thing is the snapping. He's really mastered that. But the he's a damn good football player. But he's still young. He's just a little green, and he still gets to see things for the first time. But he doesn't make the same mistake twice. So I think he's played really good football for a rookie.
And Kirk Cousins, he's really succeeded in getting all those weapons involved this year. What have you respected about the last couple of years that he's put together, specifically here in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think he does a really good job of playing to the mode, the scheme of the system. I always felt that he gets through the progressions quickly, knows where to go with the ball. He's a really good anticipator. I think he's probably one of the better guys at throwing on time. Getting the ball out, throwing to spots. So yeah, I mean they have put up some big numbers this year.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, you talked about sort of the connection between head coach, starting quarterback. You faced Aaron Rodgers, your old starting quarterback, for a number of years in the past. What is that like? What's that going to be like for Mike Zimmer facing Kirk Cousins and sort of that, you're associated, tied together with a quarterback for so long and then facing them?
You just hope he doesn't play really well, because that was my experience. I don't think Aaron missed the throw that night, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is, you know them better than probably any player that you work with, in the last 5-10 years, over how long your relationship was. But it's there's a sense of pride to see them play the way they play, and but at the end of the day, we're competing. It's the same for everybody. So I'm sure they both will be competing, and then the personal part's the personal part. So I'm not, I don't know much about their relationship, but I think it was good to have that moment with former players.
Sydney Staples, D210 Sports. Coach, you said last week that you're actually kind of hoping the media asks you a little bit more about positives. So looking at the game against the 49ers.
I was trying to be funny.
Looking at the game against the 49ers, what are some good things you saw that you're going to take into this next week?
I just think, it's just like anything. You have a plan. Complementary football is, the way we wanted to play. I felt the first, second, and fourth quarter we were in that mode. The third quarter, was really the turning point, and then getting from behind. But, just the way we fought back, we did some good things situationally. So, yeah, there's plenty to build off of. But, our big thing is, and it being the obvious, is just the turnover ratio right now. That's our biggest hindrance, because it holds back a lot of productivity.
Saudis with The Athletic. Mike, you gave Brevin Spanford more opportunities in that last game. What have you seen from him and his growth throughout the season?
Oh, man, I just love the way he attacks it. He's he's young, raw, but he's a tough kid, super competitive, wants to be great. So, but yeah, he's doing a really good job. So, a lot of things are, once again, these guys are young, so they're going through things for the first time. But I just love the way he comes to work every day.
In the tight end's development to the NFL, does the blocking or pass game kind of come first, or what's easier for them to adjust to?
To be honest with you, I think it depends on the individual, and probably where they come from. There's guys you usually have to project them in one area over the other. So, body types, all that plays into it.
With Brevin, which one is it?
I don't know. I think he's pretty balanced. He's a big target. He's a natural Y, has a movement. I think when you get the Y body type, that also translates to special teams. Which I think he gives us more there than I would have thought. In the spring. But yeah, I think he's he's a rookie, so I mean he's only going to get stronger. His blocking is going to get better just as he continues to gain strength and so forth. But I do really like him on the inside vertical routes and things like that. So I think he's pretty balanced. If I was going to, I wouldn't give him a nod either way.
Scott.
Snyder Dixon with the AP. Assuming Rico is back, the running back by committee room is a little bit bigger, more options, and opportunities have been limited. How do you kind of see that playing out if you do?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't want to sit here and tell you how we're going to do it, but they're all working and they'll all be ready to go. So, hopefully, come game time. So.
Patrick.
Hey Mike, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. When you guys lost to Micah and DeMarcus and then Marshawn Nealon, obviously next man has to step up. Over the past 3 games, there's been a nice trajectory upward for Chauncey Golston, and arguably had the best game that he's had so far against the 49ers. What are you seeing from a coaching perspective from him that's helping him take that next step?
Well, I mean, Chauncey gives you flexibility. I think that's always the thing. It was a little bit, part of, it being an asset for him, but also became a little bit of a liability because, in the past, we kind of moved him back and forth. But, he can play, anywhere from a 9 technique down to a 4 eye. So, I mean, and that's where, it's been helpful for us. We've used him some inside there, but, that's not in his wheelhouse. So I would say his technique, position flexibility is a huge asset. And I think just he's getting more snaps at end, and I think that's where, he feels, pretty natural at, and particularly the way we're playing the 6 technique and things like that. I think that definitely plays well to his, to his skill set.
Don.
Mike Dak only has 24 rushing yards. Do you want to see him run more, or is it more about using his legs, scramble drill deal to make plays that way?
I thought Jerry answered it very well. I don't know what he said, but Tad told me that Jerry answered it very well.
But he's a guy he's run more in the past.
Yeah, I mean statistics. I'll lose the badminton game in statistics right now. We're not. We got some hard ones that it's going to take a while to get them back where they need to be. But yeah, I think it's just the way the games have gone. Our scrambles are down. I mean, that's I think it's like anything which you work on. But there's 2 sides to that too. As far as the the protection and the pass rush and all that. So it's not like you can just call a scramble. So and then the triple option opportunities. We haven't called them as much this year. So and I think that's also ties into the run game too. So I think when I'm going with this, opportunities are down. So but yeah, I don't I don't have a number every week that I'm trying to hit with them. That's for sure.
And Chuma, is he close to having his
He's getting
window
better.
star?
Yeah, can't tell you exactly when, but I know he's making really good progress. They're been very, very positive about him the last couple of weeks in the meetings. Looks good.
We talk about the running back room. Does Deuce get kind of lost there? Because I'm sure there's some things you want to.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't like it. I've always leaned towards the younger player development. That's really been my head coaching career. As long as I've been a head coach, we've always pushed the young guys forward and took the leap with them and everything. So, he's got some veterans in front of him right now, and that's just the way that room is laid up. But yeah, he's got a great attitude. He's working. He practices his tail off, and he'll continue to do that. But yeah, he's just a young guy that's not getting opportunities right now.